Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Chosen Architect, and today we are going to be setting up the automation for dyes and also every single concrete variant. So, guys, I hope you're ready. Don't mind me just playing some Snake here, just getting my my Snake game in. Nothing more than that. This is absolutely ridiculous. I love little mods like this. Like this is super fun. Yeah, and it looks like there was a plan for Brick Breaker in here. Look at this. Look at this arcade cabinet. Builder's Editions. There's actually some really cool building blocks that are actually added in there, but this is one of them. A little arcade cabinet. Look at that. Breakout is actually kind of interesting. Like, when this does get fully implemented, ooh, that'd be a fun game. I actually like that game. I would like to automate some white concrete. So this right here is going to be a recipe that we are going to need to set up. Now, to do this, I'm thinking about going with industrial. Let's see, not industrial. Let's see. Yeah, industrial foregoing. So industrial foregoing is going to have a machine that allows us to make sand and gravel pretty quickly, but it does, however, require this. So let's see. Is there any like other crafting recipes? Actually, maybe it just requires the pink slime itself. The material stonework factory. There we go. Material stonework factory. Let me add this to the list. It's going to require advanced machine. Now pink slime. So this, just to get the ball, requires some pink slime inside of a dissolution chamber with a glass pane. We have tons. So after a little bit of time, I'm kind of like running some ideas through my head on the ways to go about automating some concrete. Now, we can automate concrete of any type. However, we are going to need to work on how we're going to automate dyes. So we're going to use refined storage to set this craft up, but we need a place to store all of our materials, such as sand and gravel. And I am going to make that with the material stonework factory. We're actually going to use this machine. This thing is incredibly powerful in more ways than one. You can use it to make glass. You can use it to make sand. There's so many different things. I think if we look here, you can see, like, you can set it up to make obsidian and then make obsidian-related items. It can make andesite. It looks like it can make diorite. All your different variants here. It can make the silicon from refined storage, which is super useful in itself. Like, all of these things are really, really powerful. Netherite, or not netherite, nether brick. Let's see. Yeah. All kinds of different like granite types and stuff. It's pretty ridiculous like what it does. However, you're going to need water and lava to be able to do this, right? And it's going to consume water and lava from what it looks like. Now, cobblestone does not. As you can see, consumes is not listed there. And this is what we're going to be using as cobblestone. So this really just needs power. And that should be it. Now, I know you're probably like, well, can't you just use like the auto hammers? Like, why don't you just use the auto hammers? I want to try something new. I want to play around with some different stuff. So this is going to go inside of our sieve room though. So instead of being out in the open, it's going to go in here. And where's the best place to put this? Maybe like up here somewhere. And we just have these machines export down into this because our system is hooked to this. So it's going to be the best. I think it's going to be the best place for it. So we can set one up here, and we can have one be sand and gravel. That'll give us a nice infinite amount. So sand here, gravel, perfect, right? Now we need to set these up. This is going to go here, and we're going to have these go down. Of course, it needs power, so let's give it a point. Let's see, one of them should work. We can put that right in the middle. That should be perfect. There's our point. Activate this bad boy. Perfect. But this does need a bucket of water and a bucket of lava for each one. Let's hop out of here. Let's grab all of that. So 2 buckets of water, 2 buckets of lava. And it's interesting. This is a very interesting way of putting the water or the lava and water in. You don't actually have to like click on it. You can literally place it in like this, as if it was an item. And now it's going to start generating cobblestone. Same for this. It's going to do the same thing and start generating cobblestone. So now it's up and running. Not super fast, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw some upgrades in here so that way these can store a large quantity of this. But over time, this is just gonna work, right? It's gonna work. I can speed these up. So let's see. There are speed upgrades from Industrial Foregoing. If you go with the diamond upgrades here, which uses some latex, this is one of the better ways of doing it. Just put the efficiency 2 in here, and then also put a speed tier 2 in there as well. And I'm going to go ahead and make those, and we're going to fill that in, and that should keep that going pretty quick. Like, it's not horribly so slow, but, you know, if you need it right away, you're probably going to want to, you know, slap some time in a bottle on it, but as of right now, it should be just fine. So I got those things made up. Let's go ahead and slap those bad boys in here. There we go. And yeah, it's going a little bit faster. You can see the rate here, and watch. I would say it's about double. Yeah, definitely double. And we can probably see the, well, I don't know if it says ETA 1 second. 3 seconds. 2 seconds? 3 seconds. So we went from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Or sorry, 3 seconds to 1 second. So it takes 1 second per operation now. So not bad. It still uses some power. 60 looks like, yeah, 60 FE per tick, or RF per tick. But it's getting the job done, and this is now getting filled up. Okay, now that we have this, and we're working towards gravel today. I know, how exciting. I know, gravel, but I'm going to use gravel for a lot of building stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy learning how to make tons and tons of resources, because we're going to need it. By the way, if you didn't know this, which you may not have noticed, I don't know. I did plant the kiwi over here where I did have the coal. I'm kind of stacked on coal right now, so I decided to go ahead and start running kiwi. Over here, though, a lot of you guys were wondering about this. I had this running in the nether for quite a while, and it gathered a lot of items in the nether. But I just moved it back, and I went ahead and put a gray lens in here and set the depth to 17 because I was mining Stella, this stuff right here. And I need Stella to make unbreakable tools and stuff. And Stella can be increased in its weight with the gray laser, but it can only be found between the depths of 15, in between 15 and 20 on Y level. So make sure you set your depth properly. I went ahead and just put it right in the middle. But I am seeing a pretty like significant increase here. So these two items here are what we use to make unbreakable tools. And this right here, it doesn't show a recipe right away, but when you break this, it explodes. So keep that in mind. When you break it, it goes boom. And then this also turns into an item when you break it. And when you combine these, you can create yourself a tool or an item that when crafted, or not really crafted, but when put in a, what is it called? This table? A smithing table. It will allow you to have unbreakable items. Now, it will not work on this. Also, somebody said, let's see, all the mod. Somebody said there was an all-the-modium sword. There is not an all-the-modium sword. So I believe there was an all-the-modium sword in All the Mods 6, but not in here. And I think things have changed, and I don't even know if there's one there. This alloy sword, however, requires unobtainium and vibranium, and it requires them to be mixed. Unobtainium and vibranium, to be able to get that mixture, is not what you think it is. To mix those, you need to use an ice and fire forge, a dragon forge. And to get a dragon forge, you have to kill some dragons. Quite a few of them, actually. And you also have to have a dragon that you raise yourself and tame to blow fire on these. And I don't know if this is meaning it has to be a particular type of dragon, like an ice or electric dragon. But it has to be in a forge, definitely. Dragon forge required. So I'm about to set up some crops since we're going to be getting into some more automation with mystical agriculture. I'm going to be using the same sort of setup here for it. But water is something that I'm always needing. I might as well make myself a chalice. This is from Reliquary. We're actually going to dive a little bit into Reliquary here. Make a void tier, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves the Emperor's Chalice. This is going to allow us to have infinite water. It's, yep, just an infinite water bucket. Like, forever infinite. Now, whenever you hold shift, I believe, like whenever it's shift clicked and activated, it will drain water. So if we click it, you can see it removed water. So pretty cool tool, actually. Like it's really a really useful tool from Reliquary. There's also a lava bucket as well that will prevent you from taking lava damage, which I believe also stores lava inside of it for use for later on. So if that's something you're also interested, definitely make that as well. So in making some of the cyclic stuff, it's definitely worth making some auto crafting for at least one item, which is incredibly painful to craft every single time. And that's the mason plate. Yeah, this stuff has to be done every single time. So I'm working on making a crafting pattern solution for this. So I'm working on all the individual steps that it takes to make this stuff, so that way I can just craft it. It's a mess though. It is definitely a mess. Look how I like how the colors get lighter as you go though. Kind of a neat little touch. Some thinking had to go into this while making this. I know mason cobblestone is some stuff that I already have, and I've already set a crafting recipe for iron. So I think this is just about it, right? The mason iron was the one that was a little bit harder. Yeah. So that should be the entire recipe, so I can go ahead and complete that. And all of these individual items go in here. And then we should be able to craft, if we set this, by the way, to display only craftables, we can now see what we need, and mason plate is that. Then go ahead and start that up, and that should craft those relatively quickly, actually, or at least I would think so. Unless we have a hang-up, which I don't know what that would be. Oh yeah, it's only showing craftables, that's right. So, plate. There we go, we have mason plates now. It only shows craftables because I have this selected, so that's why it's not showing any. So to make these dye seeds, we are going to need some, is it agglomero, or agglomeratio? Yes, that stuff. So it's going to require some pink dye. I think I have every single dye, so making this was, yeah, not too bad, actually. And then we need some of this, and I think we have some prudentium ready to go. So let's go ahead and throw this in. By the way, I know a lot of you guys have said that, hey, Chosen, you don't need to put this in the exact order. I completely know. It's just by default that my brain just wants to put it that way. Like, just ignore it. Like, right now, I'm not putting it in the exact order. You don't have to flip-flop it or anything. Just, do your thing. So I don't have to set this up for automation or anything, simply because we are going to generate quite a few seeds probably without even really needing to try. With it being planted on this soil, it should automatically go ahead and like start regenerating. But to go ahead and speed things up, I can use a watering can on it. Actually, I wonder what happens when you have a watering can, because we got one. When you have it in both hands? Oh yeah, if you punch a block, that's right. What did I think was going to happen by punching a seed? Jeez, what is wrong with me? So after a little bit of time and some bone meal, we have plenty of seeds. This is so fast. I went ahead and just enchanted this again, and watch. You throw some bone meal in there, this bad boy is going. If we had a sustainable way to bone meal, these crops would be insanely fast. A sustainable way to bone meal. That's an idea. Maybe for another episode, but that's an idea. So now that I have dyes, I need to make a crafting recipe. So this is going to get a little bit, we're definitely gonna need more of these crafters, right? So crafter, let's also turn this into normal. And I'm gonna make a crafting recipe for crafters. But that's not the only thing that I need to do. I went ahead and made a constructor and deconstructor, and I want to upgrade these things to the next tier. As I mentioned, we are going to be automating concrete, and I want to be able to automate as many colors as possible. So to be able to do that, I'm also going to need a way to turn concrete from concrete powder into actual concrete. And to do that, I think I'm going to use an in-world thing to do this. I think I'm going to have some water near, and then we're going to use a constructor and deconstructor to break or place and break those different things. So this should work, and I hope it does. I hope this isn't super laggy. I don't recommend this on servers. Now, I was looking at different ways of doing this, right? So we do have this way right here, which is going to be washing in bulk. But if you throw a bunch of items in the world, it's also going to get laggy as well. If we just toss like tons of items, which we would have to in order for this to work. Now there's also the solidification chamber, but the problem is we have to have 3 individual items in here. So I just picture this getting messed up. I believe that this is in the works. Lothazar is working on making these different. So if this was, I know it's 3 processes here, but if this was a different recipe, maybe they'd work a little bit better for automation, because right now this is not a good way of doing this, I don't think. Then we have this guy, the chemical injection chamber, which would require steam or vapor. Water vapor, which is not too hard, but it requires a whole other machine to do. And then we have another method, which is a fluid encapsulator, which is going to be kind of slow. Both of these are going to be really slow. I'm hoping that this is at least a somewhat fast method, but we're going to find out, because there's no other real way of doing this other than this. Like, this would probably be the other fastest way of doing it, because it can be bulk with the create mod. So to set this up, we are of course going to need some water, some sort of water space to place this in, and I also need to go ahead and get all the crafting recipes made. There's a lot of crafting recipes, but we're also going to be utilizing some of the interesting construction and deconstructing properties of this refined storage system. So just a quick update, just to show you what I've been doing. Every single one of these have now been crafted. So I have every gravel type that is the main gravel that goes into the gravel, or just the concrete powder, not gravel. I have all the dyes done, and I have all the concrete powder done. The only thing I don't have done, which I do, I think I have 16 more slots available, hopefully, or maybe there's 12 more left. Now we have to move on to processing. So that is a different thing. We are going to be processing this powder, and to do that, we basically need to tell it to go to these other machines. We need to tell it to basically go into the constructor and deconstructor. To do this is a whole other process in itself. So I definitely need to upgrade these things into the elite crafters, or elite constructor and deconstructor. The reason being is because they only have 1 slot by default, where you can only place 1 item at a time. So let me just go ahead and demonstrate. If we go ahead and set this guy up, this has still 1 slot. I thought they have more than 1 slot. Wait a moment. We might have to change our plans if this doesn't work. Because I thought that, I'm pretty sure the last time I used this had more slots to the constructor and deconstructor. Or maybe the deconstructor has more slots? No, it definitely has more slots than this. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some testing. Well, I can pretty much kiss that idea goodbye, because it's just not gonna work. I tried, the problem is I can't filter the blocks that I really want to filter, so I'm not going to be able to set that up that way. But I am going to use the solidification chamber. However, at the moment, at the time of the recording, this has not been updated to allow 1 item at a time. You still have to do 3, so it has to be divisible by 3 whenever we do the craft. Otherwise, this is going to get jammed up, and we're going to have 1 item in here. You can see 1 does not work, 2 does not work, 3, however, is what is required in order for it to work. I know, it's really weird. It does also have sort of a time that it takes in order for it to process. I don't know if I enjoy that too much. You know what? I'm actually going to take a look, and instead of doing this, I can change my mind. How about we check out what Thermal has to offer? We can try out the fluid encapsulator. Let's just see this. Let's we might be able to speed this up and make this a bit faster. So fluid encapsulator, if I search it that way, there we go. So what's it going to require? A couple of copper bits. That's nothing. Redstone flux coil. All right. And then machine frame. Nothing fancy there either. Okay. So fluid encapsulator. And then I do have a reinforcement upgrade, and I don't know what would speed this machine up, like as far as augments go. I would have to look in the book from Thermal to be able to see. So to find that kind of information out, go in here and go into like technology, machines, and then we can look up fluid encapsulator. If we go over to the page, we can kind of see some of the stuff that we might be able to use. It looks like fluid efficiency, maybe, or the high flux RF expansion coil. So this makes capacity and transfer faster. I'm gonna have to do some experimenting to see what actually makes things faster. Maybe this would work. Okay, maximum RF usage rate 100%, but scales RF production by 1. So maybe a link. You know what? This is exactly probably what would make it faster, actually. The linkage amplifier. Yeah. Okay, so let's swap this out. The same setup is going to apply, though, like as far as what gets piped into it. We're still going to need power. We're still going to need fluid to go into one of the sides. So we can allow auto input and output. The bottom is where we're going to pull our output out, or output from. And then we're going to have a crafter that is going to go here. So let's grab a crafter. And I thought I had an extra crafter. Oh, no, it's right here. Okay, so here's my crafter. I need to get this to face into this machine like so. You can see that that is actually pointing into the machine. And then I need to make sure this is set to be my input. So this is going to be the input. This is going to be the output here. And this should work. So as soon as we put our patterns in here, it's going to be recognized by your system, and our cables should still work, even though it's technically responding to this. However, I hope this... I don't think this is... Yeah, this won't send a redstone signal to this or anything, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. Enough said. I think this should work. Okay, let's speed this up by throwing this in here. And then concrete... Let's see. Let's just do some tests. And let's see how quick this actually is by default. Oh, wow. That's actually not bad at all. Even without the amplifiers. So let's add some amplifiers to this. Do I have some electrum plates? I do have electrum. And I can always hammer some out. So let's make some amplifiers here. Let's see. Amplifiers. Need a couple of you. And I need a couple of you. Perfect. All right, linkage amplifiers. 3, a maximum of 3. Will this work? Wow, that is... Okay, I thought this was slow. I was a liar, okay? I was a liar. This is... I should not have said that about thermal. I am so sorry, King Lemming. I am so sorry about underestimating your machine. It can go fast. Okay, it can go really fast. So with that being said, now I need to set up processors or processing crafting recipes for every single one of these. So if we go to concrete again, I now need to set up a recipe for this. To do that, I can just go to this recipe alone. Click this. It's going to automatically generate a recipe. You can see right here, we have white concrete powder going in, and then out is going to be our concrete. Kind of sets the ground rules for what is going to be needed in order for this to work. So I have to do this for every single concrete powder, similar to how I've done the rest of them. Luckily, it's not going to be too difficult. I'll just go ahead and get them all done. So after that, I have everything ready to go here. All I have to do is just throw them in, and we have every single concrete ready to go. Now all we have to do is get our importer ready to go, and that's it. Importer, I'm gonna go ahead and make a pattern for that. Why not? We make them so much. I need to go ahead and just get things like this and just have them so I can craft. It's just so much simpler if I would just do that. Also, while I'm here, I should probably also do this. Make some, let's see, speed upgrades. I use speed upgrades an awful lot. So making these auto-craftable is probably going to be a good idea. Glass, I probably should fix that actually. To remove those or replace them. If you ever make a pattern and you want to rewrite it, just throw it back in, and there we go. Also, make sure this is set to exact, otherwise it'll use any type of glass. And let's see, speed upgrade. And there we go. We'll also set this one to be auto-crafted. Both of those patterns can go in here. Look at this. We can just make 4 of them right off the bat. Boom. Just like this. All 4 can go in here. That's going to make things so much faster. Now, you could make stack upgrades. I don't think that's going to make this much faster? It could. If this isn't fast enough, I think that would make it faster, but I think overall this crafter is going to be able to put items in here quick enough, hopefully. All we got to do is craft it. So let's do this. Let's set up, let's see, how much gravel do we have now? Oh, we have a lot of gravel. Okay. Sand. Okay, we have 4K sand. Wow. Okay. So we should be good. The only thing we're going to need is to make regular concrete. So let's go ahead and set this up to make some, let's say cyan. No, you know, what would I use the most? Probably gray concrete. Let's make 64. Hold up. Wait a minute. Where is this getting the recipe that it needs water? Was that something that was in here that I missed on all of these crafts? That's interesting. Was it because I auto completed this from there? Wait, I'm actually kind of confused on this one. Is there water in here somewhere? How did it even add that to the recipe? Well, I'm going to be redoing all these by hand, I can see. Oh, man. Yep, that's what it was. Magically, water was added, and I don't know where. It just was, which is kind of weird. So I'm going to have to go through every individual. I'm going to go through each one and just drag it over like this and then reset it for every one. Yep. Actually, this is not that one. It's actually this one. And hope I don't mess up because there's a lot. There's 16 of them to go through. So I have them all done now. Oh boy. Now let's test it out. So gray concrete, 64. Craft that real quick. And look how fast that is going. Okay. I was wrong. This is actually a better way of doing it. I'm glad I decided to go this route with the thermal. Huh. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know there was a lot of automation stuff going on, but I hope you guys were able to keep up. And now we have concrete, which means building's going to get a whole lot more interesting. Now that we have every variant of concrete available, I can do some pretty cool things with some concrete. And plus, you walk faster on concrete. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, of course, you guys know what to do. Slap that subscribe button. But before we do that, I do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to go to Keto Rocks Gaming. Thank you so much for your amazing support. And all of you guys, if you're interested in becoming a Patreon and getting on that end screen and getting all kinds of cool perks on the Discord, such as sub servers, all kinds of interesting stuff, be sure to check the link down in the description below. Guys, I hope you'd enjoyed. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.